ABC.
So did you and DeAndre have a little man hug or anything when you?
I don't even know who you're talking about. I know they got a center over there that's pretty good, but no, I don't know who you're talking about. I mean, look, the Clippers are the Clippers. You can change the players, you can change the owners, but the Clippers are just who they've been for the last 30 years. You know, I just don't give a about the Clippers. Maybe that explains it.
That's so hurtful. I don't know what to do. Hey, listen, we are the Clippers. That's my answer.
Doc's the best. Mark Cuban not making any friends with the Clippers. Stephen A., were his comments in or out of bounds?
They were totally in bounds. Number one, because after the way DeAndre Jordan snubbed him and didn't have the courtesy, and that's the only problem I had with DeAndre Jordan. Just pick up the phone and call him. That's the only thing he needs to be knocked for changing his mind. But outside of that, let's not act like his statements doesn't have any validity. Dallas is Dallas. They're a team that's won, been in the playoffs every year this millennial, with the exception of one 41-41 season where injuries decimated them. They've been to 2 NBA finals and they have an NBA championship on their resume. Meanwhile, the Clippers haven't been to a conference finals, and on top of it all, they just came off of losing the way that they did in the semis after having a 19-point lead in that closeout Game 6 before being outscored 49-9. Not to mention the fact that Doc Rivers, who I love dearly, and I love him as a coach and as a person and as a motivator. The bottom line is they've won 57 and 56 games respectively in his first 2 years in Los Angeles, but they still haven't been to the conference finals. They've got the personnel to get beyond that, and on top of it all, they're still not anywhere near as popular as the Los Angeles Lakers. So Mark Cuban's actually right for the time being.
Well, but Stephen A., he's not right. They're not the same old Clippers, because DeAndre Jordan wouldn't have reneged on his deal in Dallas to go back to the old Clippers. They have made the playoffs the last 4 years. They do have Chris Paul and Doc Rivers. So to me, this just comes off as sort of petty spite on Mark's part. And I get that he has an axe to grind and he should have ill will toward that franchise. But when you step back, even Dirk said after the game, it's not really a rivalry because right now we can't hold up our end of that bargain. So I thought they were out of bounds, if not sort of just off point, off center.
Well, the Mark Cuban that I know, I interpreted it, Skip, as him saying that at the end of the day, we're still not going to be talking about them as champions. That's what I interpreted it to mean.
Okay.
Clearly, certain things are different because you got CP3 and Doc Rivers there. There's no question. And Blake Griffin. These individuals are all box office. The flip side to it is that they always end up on the outside looking in at somebody else celebrating a championship or at least a conference crown. Mark Cuban has 2 conference crowns, and he has an NBA crown on his resume. The Clippers can't say anything of the sort, and they've been around considerably longer than Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban has a right to say what he said, and he has a right to feel sour about how things happen because DeAndre Jordan's reneging on the decision put him in a position to, they had to go out and scurry to find something because he impeded their abilities in free agency. He has a right to say what he had to say. And Doc Rivers knows that. They just need to win in Los Angeles. The Clippers need to step up and get it done.
A little salty. I like the war word. CP3's response, I didn't hear him say it, but he has my number. He can text it to me. Staying in the NBA, LeBron faces his former